So what you guys saw at the beginning of the video was my own creative way of doing the elbow dip. Now the elbow dip is often paired with the Russian dip, and those two types of dips are usually it's a common trick that people do when they're on the parallel bars when stringing together a bunch of different tricks. Now before you even attempt to do them, make sure you're comfortable with pumping out some standard dips. Now the first thing you want to do when practicing the Russian dip or the elbow dip is practice going down and then leaning back onto your elbow as you kick your feet out for momentum. You're gonna practice going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until your body gets used to how it feels to do this particular movement. Now for those of you guys who cannot do that particular movement, you're gonna practice doing it in a negative fashion. So you're gonna place your feet on the ground. While you place your elbows on the parallel bar, you're gonna lean back as you lift your knees up and you're gonna pull yourself forward. Now when you get comfortable with that, go back to the previous clip and practice doing what you see me do there, which is going back and forth. Now in this clip, you're going to see me perform the Russian dip, which is actually me going on my shoulders instead of my elbows. So I'm leaning back, right? I'm leaning back on my shoulders and my elbows are not touching the bar. This is a bit more difficult, so for those of you guys who cannot do the elbow dip, master the elbow dip first, or at least learn the elbow dip first and then do the Russian dip. This is a different angle of me doing the Russian dip. Notice how my elbows are not touching the bar, but I'm still kicking my feet out for momentum. This involves a greater range of motion, therefore it is more difficult, and I think it looks a bit more cooler than the elbow dip, okay? Now, the elbow dip, mind you, is not the impossible dip. The impossible dip is an elbow dip without actually performing the standard dip first. For those of you guys who don't know what the impossible dip is, just YouTube it. It looks pretty cool and it's freaking hard. Now, do not do the elbow dip like you see me do here. That's how people will do the impossible dip if they actually knew how to do it, which I don't, right? Also, do not just fall back onto your shoulders, or you're probably gonna injure yourself, okay? So make sure you dip first and then lean back, and then make sure you kick your feet out at the same time. So make sure you like the video, check the links in the description for the music that you hear in the background, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Done.